And big round of applause for Jennifer, who's next. Come on. Yeah. One more time, Jennifer.
Hi. So I'm terrible at dating. Feigned surprise. And so when I actually like somebody, I kind of get all in my head about it, and shit gets very escalated very quickly. And I fancied this dude. I knew very little about him, but what I did know I loved. He had a beard. He wore flannel shirts. And he played the guitar. So I rally my insides and I asked him to hang out. It is not a date. It is a, hey, my friends are gonna go do this thing. Do you wanna come with me? And he says yes. And I was like, oh, he's the one. So we go to a Dodgers game. My friends have a luxury box, no judgments. And we are filling it with Mets fans. Yeah, let's go Mets. And I tell him this, and I go to pick him up, and he's wearing a Dodgers t-shirt. And I'm like, what an all right. So we get to the game, and he's meeting my friends, and we're getting along, and we have a lot to talk about. We have a couple drinks, and then the first red flag appears, and he brought a flask to the baseball game. And I'm thinking maybe he's just thrifty, God bless. And so halfway through the game, he's like, so what are we gonna do after this? And in the books that I've read about dating, I know that wanting to extend the night is a good sign. So I text message my girlfriend, she gives me the thumbs up, and our plan is to go to the kibitz room after the baseball game. Have you been to the kibitz room? So the second red flag was that the bartender at the kibitz room knew my date's name and his drink, which was a Manhattan. And if you haven't been to the kibitz room, they serve it in 2 glasses. The drinking glass, and then a little sidecar so you can keep topping yourself off. So we're talking, the band's really loud, so that's a problem. But he really wants to talk to me, and it wasn't until his second Manhattan his words started to slur. So I was like, okay, we're good. And then so I get a text message from a friend who's like, we're on the east side, you should come meet us. They're very excited about this date. And I'm looking at the guy, and he's in a Dodgers t-shirt, and we're at a bar, and he's sort of like goofy-eyed. I'm like, I gotta take this kid home. And he goes, no, let's go out. I'm like, okay. He's like, but I wanna change my shirt. And I said, well, I have these sort of shitty t-shirts that the movie studio gives me. They're in the trunk of my car. Do you wanna find one? And he negs the Hellboy 2 t-shirt and all that nonsense. But we happen to find this individually wrapped pot brownie in the trunk of my car. And he wants no t-shirt, but he wants the pot brownie. So red flag number 3 is he eats half a pot brownie on Fairfax Boulevard at midnight on a Tuesday. And I'm like, okay. So we get in the car, we go to the east side. I take the other half of the pot brownie, I wrap it back up in the cellophane, I put it in a trash bag, and I casually, as we're walking to the bar, dump it into the trash because I gotta squash it. And then I had to put my hands on him, and not in like a sexy date way, in a way where I wrestle him for the other half of the pot brownie that is now on the trash on Sunset Boulevard at 12:15 on a Tuesday night. And he wins. So the next red flag is he's eating the other half of the pot brownie. He's also now turned his Dodgers t-shirt inside out and backwards because he thinks that's less shameful than a grown man wearing a sports t-shirt not at a sporting event. And now the brownie is smeared. So we walk into the bar, and I'm preemptively humiliated because I know that my friends are gonna be like, you are dating a hobo. But he rallies his shit. He puts his arm around me. He's like very engaged. He's like, oh, this is, Jen's one of my favorite people. And he goes to the restroom, and my friends are like, it is on. And I think about how I have 90 seconds to sort of explain to them how not on it really is. And I'm like, text messages tomorrow. So I smile, I'm like, yeah, it's on. And he comes back from the bathroom with another beer, because they give them away, apparently, at this, and I know it's time. I know it's time to go. The teetering, so I pour him into the car, and I'm like, so you live in Glendale, we're in a place, I do not know how to get from point A to point B, can you please give me directions? And he's like, I got this. So we start driving, and it does not look familiar, and we seem to be going in a circle, and so red flag number 5 was he was actually tricking me into driving past his ex-girlfriend's house. And when I confront him about it, he burst into tears, talking about how she broke up with him and broke his heart a year ago. And it was at this point where I realized this was actually never a date, but a terrible cry for help. So with the help of Google Maps, I drive him home. I put him in his apartment. I have to use the loo because he's in Ishkabib. And I come out of the restroom, and he's playing the guitar, and I can't tell if it's a Mumford & Sons song or something he wrote about his ex-girlfriend. And I was like, I need to flee the scene. So I run, like, serious sprint out to my car, and he's like, hey, can you text message me so I know you got home all right? And I was like, sure, dude, whatever. So I get in the car, I drive home, I text message him, the whole time thinking, you know, clearly not for me, but he has a concern for my well-being. Maybe that's okay. I get home, I text message him, no response. I have this vision of him asleep on his feet in the kitchen, watching me go to my car. Oh, so I wake up the next morning, I go to work, that pesky job that I have that he doesn't have, and so I get the last text message, which is the final red flag, that was like, hey, I don't remember a ton of last night, but I think I had a really good time. Did we go out for dessert? Because I woke up covered in brownie. Thanks.
One for Jennifer.